Today on Hair Elegance by Dana, I'm going to be doing an updo that is for a wedding or maybe a really special event or going out somewhere really nice. I doubt that you're going to be able to do it on yourself, so if you have a really close friend, you could try it on them and do it for their wedding or prom or whatever they're going to, because it's a little bit more difficult to do it on yourself. So I'm going to show you the products now. The first one is my Redken 28. It's a really hard hold hairspray. I always use these to my bed head manipulator. It's really tacky, and I like to put a little bit on the back of my hand. You're going to need some rubber bands, any kind, doesn't matter. A comb that has the little pointy things on the end, and then this is what we're going to use to tease. A rat tail comb that has this pointy end. A brush to like smooth out after you tease. You don't want it to look like a big bird's nest. And then this, I like to use this whenever I flat iron. It pulls the hair so that you can flat iron after it. A big curling iron. Flat iron. And some clips, a few of those. For this one, if you don't live near Sally's or any type of salon, you're going to need a loofah like this, or you can get a little hair bunch from Sally's. But I'm trying to do it for the average person, not for someone who's a hairstylist, because that's what most people are that watch YouTube. They're just regular people. So this is really cheap. You can get it at the dollar store. It's just like a filler. Then you're going to need some small bobby pins, large bobby pins, and some little clips. And that's about it. Now we're going to get started. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you how I kind of parted it. I parted about an inch above her ear, going like at a vertical, almost vertical, but this way, like a 45-degree angle up to the top of her head. And it's the exact same on the other side, right here, about an inch away from her ear. Then I made a little triangle right here. I don't know if you can see it, it's inside there. And then I made this little section right here. And this is what's going to be braided, and I might braid some of this too. So I kept that separate because I want to kind of keep this to do a little twist with at the end. So just pile all that on top of her head. Try to get it out of the way, and then I'm going to make this all into a ponytail right about here. And I watch a lot of videos, and I've gone to a ton of conferences and workshops on how to put hair up and do different things. And the biggest thing that I find that helps when you're putting your hair in a ponytail is to not lean forward, because then when you lean back, this is all going to be loose. So you want the person, or even yourself, if you're putting your hair up in a ponytail, you want your head to be straight up. You don't want to lean forward. You just want to be straight up. So I'm going to get my rubber band. And I'm using a thicker rubber band for this part because she has a lot of hair and I don't want it to break in the middle of all this. I'm going to spray a light amount of hairspray just to get all those little baby hairs. And if you need to, you can go back later and touch it up a bit. And we're kind of going to be putting the ponytail right underneath this side of the triangle. So you just want to bring everything up and over, right about there. And then I'm just going to go in with my bed head manipulator and kind of smooth out these little hairs that I want to go back. Use your comb. And this is all going to be covered, so don't worry too much about that. Okay, now I'm going to go in and tease her hair just a little bit. So I'm going to take light little sections. Just hold them up, not real tight with your fingers, just like between your middle finger and your pointer finger. And just tease like 20 times. Like that, and then do it again. And I like teasing them together so that it doesn't look like separated little pieces. Okay, now this is where you're going to take your brush, and you're pretty much going to brush just the top layer so that it looks smooth. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to take some hair and put it over it as well. And if you just lay your palm like I am, you'll create a kind of curved surface. I would take your brush now and just lightly smooth it out. Okay. Now that that's done, we're going to put it off. I'm going to make a big like circle with it, or curl. And it's just going to go up here for now because I need to put in the loofah. Here's our loofah. Sounds funny, but it works. It's going to go right on top of that rubber band. Here's the rubber band. You're pretty much putting the hand part of the loofah on the rubber band right here. Taking your big bobby pins and you're just putting them through the rubber band if you can. So I'm putting one in where I can. Sorry if that hurts. Try one more. Okay, so now we can undo this. And you're just gonna take it and kind of spread it out like that. Spray a tad more. Try to kind of comb out some of it. Okay. Now this is where you're going to need these. I don't think I even showed these, but they're like bobby pins, but they're just already separated for you. So you're going to need a few of these, and you're just going to take the hair and kind of pin it in place. My dog Shelly is making all the noise, just in case you were wondering. And pin a couple right here if you can. And then do this side as well. Okay, now you're going to use a small rubber band and just rubber band the bottom part. Okay, so you're going to kind of go like this. And get your rubber band and wrap it around the very bottom. Okay. Then if it started to like bunch at all, just pull it out a little bit in the certain areas so that it looks more rounded. And then take a large bobby pin and put it through the bottom part of the rubber band so that it stays. And then we're gonna tuck that in later on. Don't worry too much. Okay, so now this little section here, I've put a little bit of my bed head manipulator on just to kind of smooth out some of the pieces. You can flat iron it if you want to, but you don't necessarily have to because it's just gonna be braided. So I'm gonna split it into two sections, fairly even sections if you can, like that. And I'm gonna do this section first into 3 fairly even sections if you can. Okay, now you're just gonna go over, just like a regular braid. And I'm gonna hold it there for a minute, and I'm gonna actually pull out the outer edge. And you just kind of walk around. And you can put more bed head on if it's not the way you want it. Keep pulling. And the reason I don't braid the entire strand and then pull is because it's too hard to pull it out. You don't want to rip the hair. And then you're just gonna take it. You don't necessarily need to put a bobby pin on it because I'm just gonna pin it right here, right about there underneath. So I'm gonna take a long bobby pin and it's just gonna go right about there. And it can just lay there for now because you're gonna kind of try to pull out some of these pieces a little bit more. Okay, then you're gonna do another braid. Okay, then you can start taking this hair here, and you're just gonna kind of make more of these braids like that with the leftover braids. So I'm gonna pull out this side. And kind of do that right about there. And all this hair up here is going to be covered, so that doesn't really matter. Whenever you have little pieces of hair like that, just stick a bobby pin in the middle and wrap the end around the top part of the bobby pin, and then just stick it in like that, and it kind of goes away magically. This hair down here, you can kind of do one loose braid. In the other video I watched that I will link to mine so you can kind of see what they did, they just tucked it under, but I figured why not use the braid idea. I'm going to put 2 on the top just for safekeeping. And then I don't really want this sticking out like that, so I'm just going to pin right there. And another one right there. And then you can even pull the hair out a little more if you want to. Okay, so you split it into 2 sections, and you just twist one way, like that, and twist the opposite direction. Then you kind of wrap them around each other. Now I want her hair to kind of cover these bobby pins here, so I'm gonna put another bobby pin in, which sounds redundant, but kind of works. So I'm just gonna take a little clip and clip it over here by her ear, so that now I can kind of pull the hair out. I just clipped it, that's all. And I can take this bobby pin out and make it go down and hide it. There we go. Okay, so now you can just take this hair and kind of pull out little pieces. And if you don't like the way this looks, you can always just do braids too. It doesn't matter. But I think it's a neat little bubble effect here. Okay, so you're just gonna pin those in place as well. I gotta get more. I'm gonna use these pins. Okay, now we take the top out, we give it a good part Not necessarily like that, but with your comb. Okay. Try to brush it out. I'm going to do a few big curls and then it's all going to go back. I like to always spray a little bit of hairspray just to hold the curls. I'm using a pretty big curling iron here. And we're not curling it for big bouncy curls, we're just kind of curling it so that the ends get a little bit of curl on it. Kind of like that. And then I take these bobby pins, or these clips, and just clip it in place. Because you don't want to ever brush out a curl right after you've curled it. You want to let it cool a little bit. So the curling on that side is done. I'm going to take this hair and brush it. Spray it a little bit. Comb it. And I don't want to hide all my braids, so I just got to kind of find wherever I want to pin it. Get my manipulator on there. I'm going to kind of twist this right about there. Okay. Then you can just take this hair as well and twist it. And if you want to hide that bobby pin, just go like this. And it'll kind of hide itself, hopefully. If not, we can take it out later. I don't want all these pieces coming out. So I'm going to put this twist right up against the other one. Kind of pull out the hair. Opposite side, we're going to throw up. Spray a tad bit of hairspray. Sorry. And to hide it, I'm just putting it on the bottom and putting it in like that. Then you can take the rest of the hair and keep twisting it. Okay, then we take these curls out and they're gonna lay right about here. Kind of gonna brush them out a tad. And we just want the hair up here to stick up a little bit. So we're gonna put a bobby pin or clip up here while we set the rest of it. Like 3 little clips. Then just kind of comb it out if you can. You want it to kind of droop like that. And I'm twisting it. Use a long bobby pin and go in underneath. And then just keep kind of twisting it. Go in underneath. And that you can pin later. And last but not least, put a little bobby pin on this curl, turn it, and it goes right there. And then you can spray these little pieces if you don't want them there. Put a bobby pin on it just like that and stick it directly into her head. And you can pull the pieces out a little bit. Then we take these out. The hair kind of had time to set there for a minute. Take it out carefully. Get your comb like this and just kind of do that to it. And then if your hair is kind of falling, you're just going to pin it up here. Spray it just a tad. And then turn it. Get a small bobby pin. Put it on all those little hairs that were going to come out and just stick it in like that. And if you can't hide it, I just pull hair out a little bit and that seems to do the trick. Make some more bobby pins. And we are almost done. Now this is definitely something you're going to want to try over and over again. I wouldn't just do this on someone's wedding day. I would, but you might not want to. And I'm going to take this hair to try to cover. There. And that is the finished product. And if you see any loose pieces, you know, definitely do what I taught you. Stick a bobby pin on it like this. Turn it towards the head, like that. And then just stick it in the head. Hold on, let's get that out of there. There. And that is it. And you want to look at them too and make sure it looks good on all sides, and if it doesn't, you know, just smooth out the areas that you're not in love with. Like this, it's kind of sticking out a little too much, so I'm just going to kind of hold it down a little and stick this in. There. And that's my rendition of the one that I saw on YouTube. It's all in Russian, so I can't understand it. So I thought I'd try and do it. I hope you like it.